So how picky are you when it comes to the kind of mobile device you use for work? Well, according to a new poll, most of us don't really care. For more on that story, let's head back out to John Ehrlichman. John, if that's the case, I might be in the minority.
and some of these people who are buying iPhones, I guess, Emily. But with us again this week for the LinkedIn data drop is Francesca Levy, the editor of LinkedIn Today, which put these numbers together for us. She's in New York. Here's what we found, Francesca, or what you found for us, that hundreds of people, out of those hundreds of people that you surveyed, 40% say, whatever the boss gives me is fine. What's up with that?
Well, I mean, you can't really expect people to turn down a job in this economy just because they're not getting the phone they want. But what's interesting is that almost a third of people actually said that what phone, what mobile device, smartphone they get would influence whether or not they decided to take a job.
That is interesting. And what about the ages? Like, for example, with that 40% we referenced off the top, I believe it was people younger than 29 or at the oldest 29. So there are some youngsters who are willing to, not be snobby about the phone when it comes to the job. Yeah,
this slightly older age group, 35 to 44, I think, said that, it was really important to them what phone they had. And that kind of goes hand in hand with seniority, right? So it's interesting because older or more senior people, managers and owners, were also a little bit more likely to say, yes, I need exactly the phone that I want. So those people have a little bit more leeway to make demands, I guess.
Right. Okay, so this is a Big Apple day. Obviously, we've heard about the BlackBerry blues, but I just want to highlight the comments from one of the people who participated in your survey, Thomas Skennerton, who says, maybe I've been lucky, but my last 3 employers have used BlackBerry, which fits in perfectly with what I prefer to use. So there are still some BlackBerry lovers out there.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the comment section of this poll basically turned into the gadget wars, right? There were people speaking out for iPhones and people speaking out for BlackBerries. Both of them have their devotees. Some people say, I just can't do business on a touchscreen. Some people say the iPhone's way better. But what I thought was interesting about that was that no matter what phone people preferred, they tended to say that they would rather just have one phone instead of a personal phone and a work phone. So you would maybe think that people would want their work and life to be a little bit more separate, but people thought it was more convenient to just have one.
Well, and this is an important point because you've got another commentary. This one comes from Kate Edwards, who says, being self-employed, I chose my own phone. Thankfully, I am picky about the device I use, and right now I'm content enough with an iPhone. So if you're working for yourself and you pick one phone instead of 2 because you don't want to have 2 phone bills, maybe the iPhone is winning in those cases based on what at least Kate Edwards has to say.
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe there's something that correlates with people who work for themselves, and maybe they're more likely to be Apple devotees. Hard to say.
Yeah. Here's an interesting number that came out of this poll. 12% chose not to have a work phone at all. So there are some people who fascinatingly are able to tell the boss, no thanks, not interested.
Yeah, we wanted to give people that option as one of the poll responses. Some people obviously don't have a work phone because it's just not a function of their job that they need one, so they don't have that option. But then some people are able to say, look, I don't want to be available 24/7. There's an implication if you give me a work phone, then I'll have to pick it up at any time. And so I think the people who are able to say no thanks are pretty lucky.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with that if you can. Hey, Francesca, thanks a lot. We look forward to having you back next week.
Thanks, John. Pleasure to talk to you.